Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Thursday edition of Daily Strength, your daily word of encouragement with scriptural reading to set your day in a autopilot, to set your success in autopilot. My name is Julius Ogunnaya, and we're going to share the word of God from Psalm 39, from verse 1 to verse 4. Psalm 39, from verse 1 to verse 4. We're going to read the Good News translation. Psalm 39, from verse 1 to verse 4. The Good News translation. The Bible said, I will not say anything while evil people are near. I kept quiet, not saying a word, but my suffering only grew worse, and I was overcome with anxiety. The more I thought, the more trouble I became. I could not keep from asking, Lord, how long will I live? When will I die? Tell me how soon my life will end. Psalm 39, from verse 1 to verse 4, the Good News translation. I want to talk briefly today about abuse. The first step in breaking free from abuse, whether it is sexual or physical or verbal or emotional, is sharing with someone who can help you break free. The first step in breaking free from any kind of abuse, sexual, physical, verbal, or emotional, is sharing with someone you trust who can help you break free. Jesus said in John 8:32, he said, the truth will set you free. John 8:32. Listen, freedom comes when you open up and admit your pain to someone else. That's how freedom comes. I read a recent study of 10 nations where it was discovered that between 55 to 95% of women who have been abused by their partners have never told anybody. Now watch this. Men are even less likely to talk about abuse or get help. Between 55 to 95% of women who have been abused by their partners have never told anybody about it. And men are even worse off. They are likely not to talk about it or even get help. Abuse is often called the silent epidemic in the home. Abuse is often called the silent epidemic because it is the big pink elephant in many marriages that nobody wants to talk about. People suffer in silence. And if there's anyone in the Bible who understood abuse, it was King David. He was the king who wrote most of the book of Psalms that we are reading today. And he also spent much of his life dealing with abuse because there were people who wanted to hurt him, who wanted to kill him, who abused him, who defamed him and ridiculed him. All kinds of abuse that King David went through. And in more than 100 passages in the book of Psalms, David expresses his hurt, his frustration, and anger at his enemies. He uses the word enemies nearly 100 times in the New International Version edition of the Bible. It talks about the abuse that they heaped on his life. But one of the things David modeled for us is this: don't hold it in. Don't hold it in. In Psalm 39 from verse 1 to 4 that we read, David explains what happened when he tried to keep his struggles a secret. Psalm 39 from verse 1 to 4, the Good News translation. Look at what the Bible said. I said, I will not say anything while evil people are near. I kept quiet, not saying a word, but my suffering only grew worse, and I was overcome with anxiety. The more I thought, the more trouble I became. I could not keep from asking, Lord, how long will I live? When will I die? Tell me how soon my life will end. Listen, this is a classic response to abuse. David was afraid to talk about it in the presence of his abusers, but his silence only made it worse. I kept quiet. Did you see that? I kept quiet, not saying a word, but my suffering only grew worse, and I was overcome with anxiety. Listen to me, child of God. If you are experiencing abuse right now, I want you to know that God cares about you. I care about you. This Commission, Abundant Life Commission, cares about you. And there is hope for you. You don't have to stay in the cycle of pain, anxiety, and fear. But first, you've got to stop being silent. You've got to speak up and tell someone you trust. You've got to bring it into the light so that God can begin to lead you to full healing and wholeness. That's the strength you need today for your daily success. God bless you, and I will see you tomorrow.